We don't need to assess cost causation because the government's paying, okay? Well, the government's not paying anymore. Consumers have to pay. It's a sort of for-profit system now, and that for-profit system largely tracks that kind of credit card double-sided market. As a result, there are all kinds of new strategies for cost recovery. If you want, we can get into the zero rating sponsored data debate, but I know my time is running short, so I'll hold off until tomorrow or maybe in the Q&A about zero rating and sponsored data. Facebook, not a charity, but nevertheless wants to stimulate interest in the internet, stimulate consumers to pay for smartphones or pay for computers, offering them subsidized access to a sliver of the internet. Is that noble? Is that enlightened capitalism, or is it nurturing, baiting and switching, nurturing new consumers with a sliver of the internet with training wheels, or a small walled garden of content, get them hooked and then exploit their data and whatnot. You be the judge of whether Facebook is good or bad or somewhere in the middle insofar as that discussion. So in the interest of time, I know my manager here is very adroit at keeping the trains on time. I'll dispense with that one and the economics. Let me, in the remaining couple minutes, just sort of identify where the rubber meets the road in the internet network neutrality debate. It's all about interconnection for a price, and all about the proliferation of models away from this sort of bimodal duality of peering in transit. There are all kinds of new models. One is called paid peering, which sounds like a contradiction in terms. Peering used to be something that was zero cost barter, but now you can qualify for zero cost barter if you pay for it. And that is basically what Comcast did in the United States to resolve sudden overnight sluggishness in the delivery of Netflix traffic. And Netflix is as good as it gets. Netflix subscribers are pretty much expecting Netflix to maintain perfect network connectivity come hell or high water. They're paying Netflix, they're paying the ISP. They don't care if the ISP is trying to shake down Netflix for more compensation. They're just saying, get those packets to me. I want to watch those movies. I want to watch the Olympics, for that matter, as a full motion video display, not a slideshow. So a lot of new models. I'm trying to sort of structure them. Paid peering is one. Hot potato routing, cold potato routing, we don't have enough time to talk about that, but it really is the question is, when does a content provider hand off traffic, and who pays and who ends up with the potato that needs to be routed to the end user. I mentioned earlier in the presentation that if you were to poll college sophomores, or if you were to poll the general population about network neutrality, I think most would adapt the Australian notion of fair's fair and say that network neutrality is a no-brainer. But particularly thinking about the Olympics, thinking about our viewers in the Caribbean and elsewhere, sometimes there are instances where better than best efforts routing is something that consumers want. Maybe they're willing to pay a surcharge for, but they certainly expect their ISPs to provide functionality and full motion video come hell or high water. So let me wrap up in the remaining 2.5 minutes that I have.